Hello and welcome to the program from the State Assemblies. This is where we review legislative activities across state houses of assembly. On this episode, Imo State House of Assembly moves against activities of scrap metal scavengers in the state. Ogun Assembly to address out-of-school children in the states. Plus, Kano State House of Assembly amends Fund Management Bill. Details of these and many more stories will be coming your way shortly. I am your host, Ene Ojonuba. The program from the State Assembly begins with the story from Owerri, where the Imo State House of Assembly moved to checkmate activities of scrap metal scavengers in the state to guarantee peaceful and safe environment for residents. This followed a motion by member representing Ngo Okpala State Constituency, Obinna Ego, urging Governor Hope Uzodinma to direct the State Ministry of Homeland Security and other relevant agencies to checkmate activities of scavengers. Beatrice Anyam filed the report.
The activities of scrap metal scavengers has become a source of concern to residents of Imo State. This, however, attracted the attention of the member for Ngo Okpala State Constituency, Obinna, who sponsored the motion to check the ugly trend. Leading the debate during plenary, Egu explained that scrap metal scavenging, otherwise known as iron condemn, should be a legitimate business to recycle materials from waste to wealth. But the business has regrettably become a huge security threat in both rural and urban areas of Imo State. He noted that the scavengers use the avenue to indulge in theft, vandalism of major components of electricity transformers and other infrastructure, as well as releasing vital security information to hoodlums.
The essence of this motion is not to stop the business of metal scavengers, but to protect activities. Because you wake up in the morning in your estate, you open your gate, you see very strange looking vehicles walking around the neighborhood, shouting iron from them. At times you see them vandalizing properties or stealing electricity, lights on the fence. At times they break into homes. At times they even connect with security people who are living who are watching over the houses to commit scrap and even theft these premises. And now that Nigeria as a whole, in without an exception, is facing insecurity, I think it is proper for us to identify these persons who are doing some of this. I think it is proper for us to discourage this illegal reparoling in our areas.
Other lawmakers also supported the motion.
These people are not just doing iron condemn. They are in for something. If you go to any uncompleted building within this Owerri capital city, you will see them.
It's very important for us to support this motion so that the relevant agencies will checkmate the activities of these criminal elements parading as scavengers. If left unchecked, Mr. Speaker, it will snowball into heavy criminal activities in this state.
How do we say no to it? Is to put up a strong measure to checkmate these people.
All those in support of this honorable house will probably Imo State government through the Ministry of Homeland Security and Internal Affairs and other security-related agencies to checkmate the ugly activities of scrap metal scavengers in Imo State to guarantee a more peaceful environment in the state. Say aye.
Aye.
Those against any.
A bill for a law to make the installation and maintenance of the closed-circuit television (CCTV) in all public places mandatory in Imo State passed second reading. The bill, sponsored by Uche Agabiga representing Osun State Constituency, seeks to enhance public safety, aid in the detection and prevention of violence and crime, promote secured environment for residents and businesses, as well as reduce the scope of ungoverned spaces by bringing every part of the state under technology-driven security architecture.
The bill intends to provide surveillance, security surveillance for the Imo State environment.
The bill was committed to the House Committee on Transport for further legislative action. Another bill for a law to establish the Imo State Watershed and Climate Change Agency passed third reading.
In Lafia, the Nasarawa State House of Assembly has urged the Ministry of Lands and other relevant agencies involved in the sale of more than 10,000 hectares of land in the state to halt the transactions forthwith. This came at the wake of ongoing investigations by the House Joint Committee on Lands and Public Complaints over allegations surrounding the sale of land in the state. Adams Abdul Kadri filed the report.
It will be recalled that Nasarawa State House of Assembly on 23 September 2024 passed a resolution on an issue that arose under the matter of public urgent importance observed by the lawmaker representing the Nasarawa State constituency, Musa Ibrahim Abubakar, that led to summoning the Commissioner for Lands and Urban Development, Nasarawa's Investment and Development Agency, NASIDA, Nasarawa Geographic Information Service, NAGIS, as well as community leaders on alleged involvement in the sales of over 10,000 acres of land in Eke and parts of Nasarawa local government area of the state. That is the reason why the Commissioner for Lands and Urban Development and other stakeholders that are concerned were here before the Joint Committees on Lands and Urban Development and Public Complaints and Petitions to iron out green areas that are of public interest. They took turn to explain their stake, responding to divergent questions posted by the lawmakers.
Whatsoever will be the outcome, we will hear. If it is good for all of us in Nasarawa State, we will be happy. We will start, we will queue in with the decision of the House of Assembly.
The committee, however, directed all parties involved to suspend the land transaction in the area pending the outcome of the committees.
I don't think the party will fail to obey what the committee will say, because this is constituted authority that is mandated to make laws for this land, and then nobody is above the law. So whoever that thinks he can take law into his hand, the law will take its course. We've mandated the overseer of a key development area and the community leader who also are part of the city to go and maintain peace with their people, pending the outcome of the invocation by the committee.
Thank you, Adams. To avoid maternal mobility and to reduce childbirth complication, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has passed a resolution urging the State Ministry of Health to organize a capacity building and mentorship program for traditional birth attendants in the state. This is sequel to the adoption of a report submitted by the House Committee investigating activities of traditional birth attendants. Nsikak Okon filed the report.
The chairman, House Committee on Health, Moses Essien, says many lives have been lost due to complications during childbirth and calls on governments to train traditional birth attendants while also building residential quarters to boost prompt medical attention for workers around the hospital.
The traditional birth attendant is an informal sector. Hence, government is not obligated to train them in their practices. 3. Non-availability of healthcare personnel at public healthcare centers in various government areas, especially at night, encourages people to seek the services of traditional birth attendants. The Ministry of Health routinely educates traditional birth attendants on the need to refer childbirth complications in nearest health centers in their locality.
The House, after extensive deliberations, passed a resolution that Akwa Ibom State Primary Health Care Development Agency to increase supervision of the activities of traditional birth attendants in all the local government areas in the state. They unanimously agreed that refusal of traditional birth attendants to refer childbirth complications early to hospital would henceforth be investigated and punishable by law. The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemoto, directed the Clerk of the House to communicate the resolution of the House to the Governor for further action. Meanwhile, the House has approved the 2025-2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper for the executive's implementation. The approval was sequel to the adoption of the report by the Chairman House Committee on Economic Planning and Development, Mr. Nsidiba Akata, who represents Eket State constituency.
Thank you, Nsikak. In another development, the Zamfara State House of Assembly passed a bill for the establishment of State Senior Secondary School Board and the amendment of Zamfara State Teachers Service Board. These followed a report by Chairman House Committee on Education and House Majority Leader Bello Mazawaji. Bello Sani filed the report.
During the plenary, the Zamfara State House of Assembly deliberated on the report for a bill for the establishment of Zamfara State Senior Secondary School Board, as well as for the amendment of State Teachers Service Board, submitted by the Joint House Committee on Education and Judiciary. The Chairman House Committee on Education and Majority Leader of the House, Bello Muhammad Mazawaji, stressed the need for the House members to allow the bills to go for third reading, considering their significance in uplifting the standard of education in the state.
The Joint House Committee, we have carefully undertaken the assignment mandated to us and also appreciate the confidence reposed upon us. The committee prays that the recommendation, amendment, and observation be adopted and feel the giving it is third reading.
Some members of the House made various inputs on the bills and commended rigorous work by the committee. After due deliberation and unanimous agreement, the Speaker, Biliamin Ismail Moriki, directed Clerk to the House, Mahmoud Aliyu, to give the bills a third and final reading.
The State Senior Secondary School Education Board and for other matters connected there with 2024 third reading.
The bills were unanimously passed by the House for subsequent assent by Governor Dauda Lawal.
Also, in the week under review, the Ogun State House of Assembly promised more collaboration with the state government towards reducing the growing rate of out-of-school children in the state through budgetary allocations in the Ministry of Education. The lawmakers stated this during their engagement with the country representative of the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, in Abuja. Yemi Dalemo reported that in a bid to resolve boundary disputes in the states, lawmakers in Oyo and Osun states also visited their counterparts in Ogun State for a resolution.
The UNICEF Chief of Lagos Field Office covering Southwest region explained that the team is in Ogun State to partner the State House of Assembly to address the growing rate of out-of-school children, which she acknowledges is a major concern to the international body. The team reeled out the results of out-of-school children in Ogun State, noting that out of the 6.2% children of primary school age in the Southwest region, 10.3% of them are in Ogun State. In the junior secondary school category, out of a total of 8.5% across the Southwest states, Ogun State accounts for 12.1%, with 20.5% of them not making it to the senior secondary school level.
Which means when they get into primary, they get into lower secondary, and they begin to drop out of school. So we have a huge number of children who are missing education at the senior secondary level in Ogun State.
So what we intend to do is strengthen this beautiful collaboration we have with Ogun State, with the government of Ogun, and reiterate our commitment to support the state, especially the members of Assembly.
Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Oludaisi Elemide, and other lawmakers react to the developments.
If we can get it right from the scratch, from that their childhood level,
we will get it right, at least majorly in life.
In another development, the lawmakers received their counterparts from Oyo states who are on a peace mission towards resolving a boundary dispute among the states. The meeting, chaired by the deputy speakers of Ogun and Oyo states, Latifat Ajayi and Mohammed Fadeyi, agreed that unity, peaceful coexistence and development of the Southwest region remain sacrosanct, stressing the need for the National Boundary Commission to join them to undertake physical verification of the affected communities.
The visit came as a result of a motion of a matter of great public importance, and while we were gathering data concerning issues or disputes within our boundaries in Oyo State, Ogun State came up. And that was where we had the issue of some areas between in the Baraba East.
Third of it, we should be able to resolve issues amicably. We are one, and we should be honest and patriotic in our dealing with things.
The lawmakers assured that the issue will be resolved amicably to the benefits of the parties involved.
Meanwhile, as the 2024 fiscal year nears its end, the need to prioritize government spending became critical in light of current economic challenges. This prompted a review of the approved budgets for the 44 local government councils in Kano State. To this end, the Kano Assemblies Joint Committee on Appropriations and Local Government is set to present its report on the proposed amendments to ensure efficient allocation of resources. Samira Shira reported on deliberations where the state's economic priorities and local development plans intersect, determining how best to reallocate resources for maximum impact on community projects and services.
On Tuesday, 17 September 2024, the Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs sent the proposed amendment for the approved estimates of all the local government councils in the state, to the tune of over 225 billion naira, in compliance with Section 70 and 71 of Kano State Local Government Law, and was forwarded to the respective House committees for scrutiny. While presenting the committee's findings during Tuesday's plenary, Representative Aminu Saadu said the amendment becomes necessary to avoid running into fiscal deficit and to beef up some provisions that were underestimated to accelerate execution of priority projects.
That the House approved the downward review of the 2024 approved estimate from capital expenditure of the 44 local government councils from 163 billion 202 million 245,943 naira for 76 kobo, a new budget size of 131 billion 76 million 574,232 naira for 31 kobo, representing a downward slash or a decrease of 32 billion 125 million 671,711 naira for 46 kobo, or 20% that has been slashed to finance the personnel and overhead costs from the capital expenditure.
Earlier, had the Houses approved a motion sponsored by Representative Murtala Muhammad Kadayo of Garku, calling on the state government to construct a road that links Kwanar Lamiri to Lamira town, which was adopted.
We now go on a short break. More stories from the state assemblies when we return. Welcome back, and don't forget that you can still watch this episode of the program and others on our social media platforms scrolling on your screen. Moving on, the Kebbi State Legislative Arm in the week under review approved the full implementation of the medium-term expenditure framework for 2025 to 2027. This is a valuable document essential for fiscal sustainability and effective resource allocation and management. Usman Shehu sent in the report.
The medium-term expenditure framework is a crucial tool for government to effectively manage their finances and achieve economic goals. It provides a framework for setting fiscal policy objectives, allocating resources, and monitoring progress over a stipulated period. Recently, Kebbi State House of Assembly received the Economic and Fiscal Update, Fiscal Strategy Paper, and Budget Policy Statement from the executive arm of government. The chairman of the House Committee on Finance and Appropriation, Adam Muhammad Birni Yawuri, while presenting the report on the MTEF, highlighted the benefit of fully implementing the framework.
Fiscal Strategy Paper, FSP, and Budget Policy Statement, BPS, are the key elements in medium-term expenditure framework, MTEF, and annual budget process, and as such, they determine resources available to fund government projects and programs from a physically sustainable perspective.
Speaker Muhammad Usman Zuru, who acknowledged the commitment of the legislative arm in driving positive progress in the state, described the move as a testament to the state's government's effort to enhance fiscal responsibility and transparency.
The document of MTEF document which covers 2025 to 2027 is hereby adopted.
The framework will cover a period of 2025 to 2027. Kebbi State adopted the preparation of EPU, FSP, BPS for the first time in 2021, and this marks the fourth rolling iteration of the document.
For democracy to thrive, there is a need for all arms of government to have financial and administrative autonomy, which suffered many setbacks before the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. What is now left is the implementation of the Supreme Court judgments. This was the rationale behind the amendment of the Kano State Assembly Fund Management Law 2024. Again, Samira Shira filed the report on these and other engagements in the House.
The Kano State Assembly Funds Management Law was enacted alongside other laws that would give autonomous backing to the state legislature, as provided in the Constitution. One of the requirements is the formation of the Funds Management Committee, which will have the Speaker, all House leaders, clerk, among others, as members. They will be responsible for managing the capital and recurrent expenditures of the Assembly.
A bill for a law to provide for the management of the fund of the Kano State House of Assembly and for other matters later here is hereby passed.
Today is to allow the Assembly have its own committees whereby the monies will be disbursed between the executive arm of government, the judiciary, and the legislature based on pro rata basis, the sharing formula. Whatever is budgeted at the Assembly for the state and the judiciary and the legislature should be directly credited into the State Assembly's account and that of the judiciary.
In another development, Representative Sulalawa Shuwaki of Tidunwada moved a motion calling on the state government to renovate Tigadam as it has flooded thousands of farmlands and houses, while Representative Zakaria Abdullahi Nuhu is calling for the repair of electricity from Zugat to Tofai villages by relevant authorities.
In Kebbi, the House of Assembly passed the State Electricity Regulatory Commission Bill 2024 to regulate electricity in the state. This was after the consideration of the report from the House Committee on Rural and Community Development presented at plenary. Usman Shehu again filed in the report.
The bill aims to promote access to electricity through increased private and public sector investment, as well as private partnership in grid, mini-grid, and other off-grid electricity options. The bill, which comprises 120 sections and a schedule, was scrutinized and improved through public hearing by the House Committee on Rural and Community Development. The electricity regulation will cover areas such as generation, transmission, system operation, distribution, and supply.
Because before now, the states do not have power to legislate on matters relating to electricity. But now that there is this amendment under the new era of electricity regulation, we expect that all the players in the power industry should play according to the rule.
The Assembly unanimously approved the committee's report.
Using renewable and non-renewable fuel source in the state 2024 and for other purposes connected therewith, thereby limiting and pass into law.
This move has now paved way for assent of the bill by the executive arm of government. It is expected to boost electricity supply in the state, providing relief for residents and many businesses that require constant electricity supply.
Thank you, Usman. In the meantime, the Niger State House of Assembly has passed the Abdulsalami Abubakar University of Agriculture and Climate Action Mokwa Establishment Bill. Musa Mikael sent the reports.
Presenting the report of the committee before the House, Chairman of the committee, Muhammad Sani Idris, said that in carrying out the assignment, the committee invited key players for their input. He said the bill seeks to establish a new university to be known as Abdulsalami Abubakar University of Agriculture and Climate Action, as well as seeks to transform Niger State College of Agriculture to a university. The legislator noted that the university, when established, is going to be a specialized training center with courses to be offered in field of agriculture and climate action, where IT and modern practices and advancement in science and technology will be deployed fully in line with approved curriculum by the National University Commission, NUC.
Federal colleges of education in Nigeria are undergoing transformation into operating a dual mandate, that is running of national certificates in education and bachelor degree in education, BA. 2, that the bill seeks to domesticate the Act of the National Assembly giving Federal College of Education dual mandate, which was signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023 to address the challenges facing teacher education in Nigeria.
Is it the wish of the House that a law to establish the Abdulsalami Abubakar University of Agriculture and Climate Action, Mokwa, Niger State, and for related matters, you heard me say a law. And the last is an act. It's an act. But now, to replace the phrase an act, be deleted and substituted with the phrase a law.
At the end of the presentation, the bill was considered clause by clause and unanimously adopted and was subsequently passed into law. Speaker Abdul Malik Serkindaji, who presided over the plenary of the House, commended the committee and members of the House for a job well done. The Speaker directed the clerk of the House to transmit clean copies of the law to the governor for assent.
Also, in the week under review, the Imo State House of Assembly has urged Governor Hope Uzodinma to immortalize the late President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwua Anyanwu, by renaming the Imo International Conference Center Owerri after him. The House took the decision following a motion to that effect by member representing Mbaltoli State Constituency, Innocent Ikpamezie, on the floor of the House. Beatrice Anyam again filed the reports.
The late President General Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, passed on the 25th of July 2024 in active service as the leader of the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Group. Leading the debate on immortalizing him, the member representing Mbitolu State Constituency, Innocent Ikpamezie, notes that immortalizing him has become necessary following his numerous contributions towards human and economic development of the state, Southeast, and the country at large, adding that he also paid his dues as an employer of labor and in the political development of Nigeria.
As a president of Assemblies, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu Ahejagamba ensured peace in Southeast. In his legacies, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu has planted a very positive seed for the future of our children. Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu is an advocate of the destitute and solicitor of the needy for the fact Imo State and Nigeria is concerned. Is it in the agricultural world, housing and urban development? In politics, is a name to reckon with. He's a great employer of labor. I had the privilege of sitting with him last month before he went to the hospital. And in that 1 hour session, what he was dealing with was how to protect an Igbo man's investment in Abuja.
A bill for a law to establish the Light Up Imo project was passed for third reading. The bill, sponsored by the majority leader of the House, Kanayo Onyemechi, representing Owerri West State constituency, is seeking to establish the Imo Electricity Company, aimed at projecting access to electricity in the 27 local government areas of the state.
This Light Up Imo project will go around all over the local government. It will solve a lot of our people's problem. The empowerment of the local content will be there, because an artisan that do a wedding business, a woman that is sewing clothes, will have access to electricity.
2 other bills also passed for third reading include that to establish Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone, and another to repeal the Imo State Oil Producing Area Development Commission, Law No. 13 of 2010, and to enact a law to establish a commission for the development of oil producing areas in Imo State.
All those in agreement that the above is a true reflection of our decision, I will say aye. Those against the ayes have.
The bills are to be forwarded to the state governor for his assent.
Thank you, Beatrice. This is where we call it a day on this week's episode of the program from the State Assemblies. Remember, you can still watch this episode, news, and other programs on the social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I remain your host, Ene Ojonugba. See you again.